Hello, hello, hello. Welcome and welcome to your Mindful Monday session for today, which is our first session of the week, and it is Mental Health Awareness Week. So welcome, welcome. My name is Henri. I'm one of your vitality coaches and specialist in mental health and well-being. So thank you for joining me today. If you wanted to just say hello and just say whether you can hear me okay, that would be wonderful. And we will get started momentarily. So it's Mental Health Awareness Week. The focus, the topic for Mental Health Awareness Week is nature this year. And so, of course, today's session and today's topic is going to be nature. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Thank you so much for everybody who is saying that you can hear me. That is always a good start. And we will make a start. So if you've done any sessions with me in the past, if you've watched any of the recordings, you'll know that we have a little bit of a structure. And so we always start with defining mindfulness. Generally speaking, what we then do is take a few deep breaths together, and then we go ahead and get into the focus of the session. And we're going to be going for about 30 minutes or so today. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being able to prioritize yourself today. And let's get started. So, as I said, we always define mindfulness. We always start with being on the same page. So mindfulness means maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, our feelings, our bodily sensations, and our surrounding environment through a gentle and nurturing lens. Mindfulness also involves acceptance, meaning that we pay attention to our thoughts and feelings without judging them, without believing, for instance, that there's a right or a wrong way to think or feel in a given moment. When we practice mindfulness, our thoughts tune into what we're sensing in the present moment, rather than rehashing the past or indeed imagining the future. We want to bring our awareness to this moment. We want to do our best to remove any judgment. And what I would say to you, if you're new to this process, be kind to yourself. It can take a bit of time to get used to. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. I have a chair with a back here. But you can be sitting down on the floor, you can be lying on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you. You can be lounging in a comfortable chair. And when you're ready, just close your eyes. You can place the palms of your hands onto your thighs, or indeed just onto the arms of the chair that you're in, or just down by your side. Allow your body just to rest wherever it feels comfortable today. We're going to take a few deep breaths in together. It's always another good idea to bring our attention to our breath. Our breath is a reliable indicator that our attention, our focus is on this present moment. So let's take a few deep breaths together. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. I want you to keep breathing. Try just to control your breath on the inhale. Hold it for a moment before you exhale completely. Notice your abdomen expanding on the inhale and contracting all the way as you expel every last ounce of breath. If you can just control your breath to be a little bit slower, a little bit more stable, you've just brought your attention straight into this present moment. And instead of focusing on the external world, you've brought your attention squarely 90 degrees, no, 180 degrees, concentrating on your internal experience. And this is where breathing can be incredibly powerful. It can be an incredibly helpful tool, especially in times of stress. Or friction. Keep breathing and Keep your attention on your breath or my voice, just as best that you can. You'll notice thoughts arise. You may notice feelings. You may notice sounds in your environment. And when you do, just use that as a guide to bring your focus back to your breath or back to my voice. The focus of today's session is nature. And the focus of this week's Mental Health Awareness Week is nature. And what you might hear a lot of is how important it is to spend time in nature. How helpful it can be to spend time in nature. Now, don't get me wrong, I love nature. I love the countryside. I love having walks next to the canal. But wouldn't life just be so much simpler if we could all just live in tree houses in the forests? It'd be a lot simpler, wouldn't it? Have a lot less going on in our lives, let's say. So when I think of nature, as much as I love spending time in nature, I also think of what else does that encompass? Well, it certainly encompasses the trees, the grass, the fields. Does it encompass animals as well? The sea? And if it encompasses all of those things, then we're really not very far away from nature at all. I can look outside my window and I can see the trees. I can see the birds. And I can notice the effect of the wind. I can see the clouds sliding across the sky. And so the question that comes to my mind is, where do we fit into all of this? Well, we also have human nature, don't we? We have human nature. And we're always connected to nature, whether we realize it or not. Just in the same way the animals are, the trees are, the canals, the seas, the rivers. We've done a really good job over the last few years convincing ourselves that we are separate from the environment. We are separate from nature. That we need to go into nature in order to experience nature. But the nature of your body, human nature, is just as much a part of that ecosystem as everything we've just mentioned. There is, in effect, an ecosystem of sorts in your gut right now. Bacteria, there are cells dying and reproducing as we speak. There is growth occurring in your hair, your nails, there are processes happening within your body right now that are just as much part of nature as photosynthesis, as watering a plant, our bodies have been evolving for billions of years to be perfectly formed for the environment in which we live. And there are all of these processes occurring, of which we have control of absolutely zero of them. So when I think of nature, I like to consider the miracle of nature that you are. The miracle of nature that you exist. The miracle of nature that we are here, having any kind of experience whatsoever. Because it truly is a miracle. Sometimes we get distracted or caught up with material things, relationships, jobs, money. But it's truly a miracle of nature that you are here, that your family is here, that your friends are here. We have so much to be grateful for if we look in the right places. And then just to introduce another layer of depth, I mentioned those cells dying and reproducing. It's about 8 to 9 years it takes for every cell in your body to have died and been reproduced. So, from a physical perspective, you are not the same physical being that you were 20 years ago. Your human nature has changed. And yet, who you are, who you really are, has always remained. And this is your true nature. Your awareness, your consciousness, your knowing. The knowing that whatever happens to your body, the essence of who you are will remain untouched. Wouldn't it be great to have true nature as the topic for discussion, as the topic for exploration? I encourage you to get curious. I encourage you to explore your experience. Not your past experience. Remember to take a mindful approach and just focus on this present moment, on this experience, the only experience you can ever have. In a moment, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. And when I get to 1, I want you to just slowly open your eyes. Bring your attention back to the room that you're in. Try not to rush off anywhere. I'll hold a space for us for a few more minutes. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for giving yourself 30 minutes to rest, to relax. Whatever it is you came here for, I hope that you got what you needed. Just stay here for a moment or two. Try not to rush off if you're anywhere. And if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to pop them in. But don't feel obliged. There's no need to do anything. Karen said, thank you, a helpful session. It's good to concentrate on the moment for a while. Yeah. Couldn't agree more, Karen. Couldn't agree more. So we have a whole bunch of sessions for you this week. Tomorrow we've got a yoga. We've got mindfulness for you again on Wednesday and Thursday. And then, fingers crossed, if the weather is good, we're going to go for a mindful walk on Friday. So please do feel free to join us for all of those sessions, or any of those sessions, or none of those sessions if you don't want to. 12:30 every day. So feel free to join us. Thank you again. Have a lovely week. And if I don't see you again this week, then I will see you next week again, I hope. Take care and see you next time.